I'm Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Now today what I wanted to do is actually share a video that I recorded a little while ago, which is going to be a regular segment here on the show. Now I mentioned in the first episode how the responses that we received from our survey sparked the idea to put The Inspiration Show on. So what was interesting was how the same questions kept popping up all the time, just asked hundreds of different ways. Like for example, one of the questions that came in was, how can I keep my eye on the goal when a lot of negative stuff keeps popping up? Well, you know, that's a great valid question. I get that question a lot. But then I also got, how do you keep motivated when it seems not to be working? How can I keep my focus in the light of imminent failure? How can I stay on track? I start out really upbeat, but then I don't see results. How do you stay focused despite setbacks? And how do you keep believing when for months things don't happen? So as you can see, it's the same questions, just asked many different ways. So I had the idea of interviewing passionate, inspirational people and to ask them the same 5 questions, or the five most popular questions that we got from the survey. Now some of these people you may recognise, like my guest today, and some are just ordinary people who've overcome extraordinary events in their lives to live a life of passion and purpose, and they have some amazing stories and amazing insights to share with us. So my guest today is actually the man who inspired me to create this show, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. Now you might recognise him from his video blog Wine Library TV. I don't think it's actually going anymore, but he has a new app out called The Daily Grape. Now he's a 35-year-old New York Times bestseller and Wall Street Journal bestseller. He's also a self-trained wine and social media expert. Now at 8 years old, he was actually operating 7 lemonade stands in his neighbourhood, and at 10 he moved on to selling baseball cards at the local malls. So do you think this guy was just born an entrepreneur? I think so. Now in high school, he worked at the family liquor store, and he taught himself about wine appreciation by tasting those things that were described as flavours in the wines. So, for example, if he was looking at a wine and it said it had grassy notes, he would eat grass and then taste the wine. Or if it said it had earthy tones, he would eat dirt and then taste the wine. And this is how he taught himself appreciation. I've actually even seen him suck a sweaty sock, because someone has described that as a flavour in one of the wines. So he's very dedicated. Now, in 1997, he actually recognised the importance of the internet and took his family liquor store. Now, in 1997, it was doing $3 million, and in 2005, he grew it to a $45 million business. Amazing. Now, I've actually seen Gary speak on stage, and he is one of the most passionate people I have ever seen speak on stage, which made him a perfect candidate for this segment. Now, I must warn you that the more excited he gets, the more colourful his language becomes, but his message is directly from the heart. Now, I actually recorded this video with him when I was on a Summit Series cruise, so it's a little bit noisy, but you can hear him loud and clear, and his message is amazing. Now, he's actually appeared on the Jimmy Fallon show, Late Night with Conan, Ellen, numerous other shows, and now The Inspiration Show. So enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Now today I have a very special guest and someone I'm really pleased to and honoured to be introducing to you. Now this guy is actually a New York Times bestseller, and it was after I read his book Crush It that I had the whole idea for The Inspiration Show, and part of the reason why we're here. So I would like to introduce to you Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. How are you? You can say hello.
Hey everybody. Thanks for having me on the show, and thank you. To hear that something I did could inspire stuff is incredible, so thank you.
Great. All right. Now, you live a very successful life, and a life that, and you're very passionate about what you do.
Yes.
Now, I'm assuming that it wasn't always an easy road. What is your background, and what actually got you to this point now?
You know, I guess it's funny to say, is it an easy road or is it not, right? I mean, on paper, it's not an easy road, right? I was not born in America. My family immigrated from the Soviet Union. It was super difficult. We lived in a studio apartment with 8 family members. Everything was hard and tough and difficult. And so I grew up as an immigrant. And we didn't have a lot of stuff, and I had to buy my own video games and all that difficult stuff. But at the same token, and then I got involved in my family's liquor store business. My dad eventually bought a small store, and I launched a website in 1997, winelibrary.com, and built it to a $60 million a year business, and then started a wine video show that became very successful in the States. And then I wrote a book about how I did that, which inspired this video show and many others. And so, So I'm a real entrepreneur. And let me explain what a real entrepreneur is. I swear to you and to every person behind that camera right this second, while I'm on this beautiful boat and have so many good things going for me, that if I lost everything, all of it, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, not as a father, not as a husband, but from an entrepreneurial standpoint, that would excite me. Right? Because it would allow me to show everybody how good I am. Because I would rebuild it. And when you're a real entrepreneur, the game matters more than the actual products that come out of it. Money is shit.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I have a very strong feeling that everything is easy because I loved it. On paper it might sound hard, and there was a lot of hard stuff, and I didn't have a vacation for 11 years, and I worked from 7 in the morning to 11 p.m. at night from the age of 21 until the age of 28 with 2 days off a year. I mean, it's hardcore. Like, I'm not as healthy as a lot of people here because they've been able to have more work-life balance and all that, but I loved it. I live and breathe it. And I think anybody who's watching right now who's making excuses, well, other people have it easier or this, or who don't love the process, who can't wait to get the stuff, can't wait to get the big jewelry and the boats and all that bullshit, they're not real entrepreneurs, and they're ultimately not going to win at the highest level, because unless you love the game, it's very difficult.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that.